子供扱いしないでよ。お酒くらい。
あの耳は無意識なのだろうか。では我も甘さの中に深いコクがあり、アリアン殿。
ねえ、ちょっとおかわり。何が人とエルフが手を取り合う世界よ。人族とエルフ族が手を取り合うなんて、まったく。頭痛い。
It all starts in the forest, where a group of bandits tries to force themselves on a noble named Lauren Leffilt and her maid, Rita. However, a shining knight arrives just in time and completely mutilates the bandits by slicing them in two with his sword, which serves them right, if you ask Karma. The knight apologizes to the dismembered bandits for attacking them from behind, but I don't think they can hear him, and I wonder why. I know what you're thinking. Who is this knight? And why is he so handsome even though there is a mask on his face? Well, a few days earlier, a gamer named Ark wakes up in a strange world and he doesn't realize where he is, but he quickly realizes that he is wearing the holy armor of Belanus, the Twilight Cloak, the holy shield of Tuatates, and the holy thundersword of Kalidborg. Ark deduces that he has awoken in the body of his game character, which causes him to freak out. Well, at least he should be happy as he is the main character. Imagine how an NPC character feels. An excited Ark decides to test his abilities and he is intrigued at how powerful he is, although he causes some damage. During training, Ark is amazed at his ability to produce fire from his hands, even though he is not a mage, and this makes him happy. He decides to test his abilities in a real fight, but his stomach starts to rumble and he realizes that he needs some food. However, he has no food or money and decides to head over to the next town for some supplies. He tries to teleport to a town he has seen in the game, but he almost kills himself by teleporting to the end of a cliff. Well, now we know he can't fly. He figures out that he is a new player, and that means he has not visited any town yet. However, he finds a loophole and uses short-range teleportation instead. Using his dimension move ability, he finds a river and takes off his mask to drink some water, but discovers that he has a skeleton head. He then remembers picking the skeleton avatar, but he gets worried as he understands that the locals of the town will run away from him or try to kill him because of his appearance. He decides not to take his helmet off and goes into the neighboring town. He looks around town, trying to find a way to make money, and stumbles upon a lady in the alley. He listens to her conversation and discovers that she is an elf. However, he loses her in the crowd. He spots a mercenary guild and gets inside, in hopes of getting a mission that will earn him money. He finds out that he needs to obtain a mercenary license by slaying a beast or a monster or a bandit. He then embarks on a mission. Shortly after, he encounters an orc after killing two beasts, but quickly decimates the monster with his sword. Wonder if this kid ever got bullied in school. On his way back to the guild, he spots some bandits, ambushing Rita and Lauren's carriage. They kill all the guards and try to rape the girls. Ark decides to save them and mutilates the body of the bandits' leader, causing the rest to cower in fear. They might need a new set of pants. They run away, but he goes after them and annihilates them with the wyvern slash. Guess they wouldn't be needing the pants after all. The girls thank him and ask if he is a knight, but Ark avoids answering the question. Although he comes up with a backstory in his mind, he burns the body of the bandits and takes their loot, while the girls look away. He escorts the girls back to the palace to ensure that they are not ambushed by bandits even though he is hungry. Such a selfless warrior. He returns to the guild to receive his license. The guild keeper removes a rune stone from the orc and hands it over to Ark. He informs him that runes are made into magical items and weapons. He probably forgot that part where they could just be sold for money. He also advises Ark to always remove the runes from the monster that he kills, as they always come in handy. Afterward, Ark goes to the tavern to celebrate his success and eats his long-acting dinner. He figures out that he will probably be here for a while, and decides to complete the quest in order to test his newfound abilities. The next day, Ark receives his first mission, which involves guarding a girl named Marka. While she collects medicinal herbs, Ark is excited to embark on his first mission as it gives him the chance to use his abilities while keeping a low profile. He arrives at Marka's house and she is surprised that a knight like Ark has taken up this mission. Ark is also surprised after realizing that Marka is just a young girl, but he still decides to complete the mission. They journey through the woods and Ark wonders why Marka is in a hurry to complete the mission. Marka explains that she doesn't want her mother, Siona, who has become overprotective since Marka's father died, to find out about the mission. She further states that she wants to make her mother happy, as it used to be her father's job to pick the herbs, and Ark is surprised at how noble her cause is, despite her young age. He helps her gather the medicine herbs. However, Ark senses a monster nearby. While Marka explains the function of each plant, the monster proceeds to attack. However, he discovers that the monster is just a kitsune, although its left leg appears to be injured. Ark heals the monster with his power, and the kitsune decides to follow him in gratitude for saving his life. Ark names his new pet Ponta due to its fluffy tail, and they continue their quest. Meanwhile, back in Marka's village, Siona finds out that Marka is in the woods, which are filled with dangerous monsters, and she starts to panic. Back in the woods, Marka finally finds the Kabumi tree, an all-white tree filled with lots of medicinal herbs. She approaches the tree but doesn't realize that she is in the territory of the basilisk. Marka becomes scared and is unable to move while the monster attacks her. However, Ark steps in just in time with a superhero entrance and saves her from the basilisk. The beast releases a powerful poison fog, but Ark evades the attack with ease. Having fought the monster before, while he was playing the game, Ark is able to anticipate attacks and protect Marka. The basilisk launches a series of attacks, forcing Ark to use the shield of Tuatates to protect himself and Marka. He launches a counterattack and slays the beast with a devastating attack called Judgment. Marka is amazed at Ark's power and wants to tell the whole town about him, but he begs her not to say anything as he is trying not to garner unwanted attention. Ark then notices a strange ring around the neck of the basilisk, but it disappears before he is able to examine the item. Ark spots a fanged boar and kills it before escorting Marka back to the village with the boar in hand. Siona reunites with Marka and is happy to see that she is not hurt. Siona questions why she went to the woods despite knowing how dangerous it is, and Marka reveals the flowers of the Kabumi tree to her. Ark apologizes for taking Marka into the woods without her mother's permission. He begs Siona not to punish Marka, and she only did it because she loves her. Moments after, Ark informs the villagers that he has taken care of the monsters in the woods, although he does not tell them about the basilisk. Later that day, Ark leaves the village with Ponta on his shoulders and promises Marka that he will see her again. Elsewhere, a group of knights manages to bring down a basilisk with a ring around its neck with great difficulty and multiple casualties. As they journey on, they find the basilisk and notice that it was killed by a single strike with an extremely large sword. The general is surprised by this and wonders who could have taken down such a powerful beast with a single hit. Back at home, Ark and Ponta celebrate the completion of their first mission, and he decides to accept a very challenging task tomorrow. The following morning, Ark accepts a mission and deals with the bandits, hiding in a forest cave. He captures them and takes their treasure as he continues to adapt to his new environment. He notices 2 cages in the cave, but he ignores them and heads back into town with the loot. Being a mercenary is not so bad after all. Elsewhere, it turns out the attack on Lauren was an assassination attempt ordered by Lord Triton Dinto, and he is furious at the bandits' failed attempt after discovering that the assassins were killed by a single mercenary. His assistant, Celsica, also reveals that the basilisks sent to Lufilt's lands have been killed, which surprises Dinto, as they are powerful beasts. He wonders why Dinto's master, Prince Dakars, is targeting the kingdom of Lufilter, but Tinto confesses that he does not know the prince's motives or plan. However, he believes Dakars is trying to start a war with the Western Empire, and destroying Lufilt will destabilize the empire and give them a huge advantage in the war. Tinto then asks about his son Udalan. He finds that his son is leading their illegal slave operations, and this makes him angry as he believes Udalan is putting himself in danger. Back in the forest, Ark is attacked by the mysterious elf, Ariana. He met at the alley in the past, but he doesn't remember her. She accuses him of kidnapping elf children as he is coming out of the bandits' cave. However, she stops the attack after seeing Ponta on Ark's shoulders. She is surprised by this as Ponta is a spirit creature, and they don't trust mortals. She realizes that Ark is not a bandit, and apologizes to Ark for attacking him. He informs her that he is a mercenary and wonders why she is here. Ariana explains that the bandits have been hunting elves and selling them as slaves. Ark quickly realizes what the cages inside the caves are being used for and tells her that there are no elves in the caves. He offers his help in finding the missing children, but she rejects his proposal and walks away. However, Ark refuses to give up and decides to help her no matter what. He goes back home and tries to figure out how to find her. The next day, Ark searches for Ariana in the woods all day, but he is unable to find her. However, he discovers the bandits' hideout and goes after them. Udalan sadistically tortures an elf who tries to escape and threatens to kill anyone who tries to escape. Ark decides to intervene. Ariana steps in and brutally murders the slavers. Udalan realizes that he can't win against her because she is a warrior, and decides to use the children against her. He threatens to kill them, forcing Ariana to surrender. The bandits begin to harass her, prompting Ark to interfere, and they defeat the bandits together. They rescue the children, and Ariana notices the bandits place the Mana Eater collars on the children's necks, preventing them from using their powers. Ark breaks their collars, then proceeds to heal their wounds, and Ariana deduces that he is no ordinary human. The children are taken back to the village, and Ariana thanks him for his help. Although she is surprised by his compassion, Ark tells her that he is a mercenary mercenary and introduces himself to her. While they talk, a whispering bird informs Ariana that Dinto's location has been found and she hires Ark to help her in rescuing the children in captivity. Ark decides to work for her, although he is worried that the other elves might not like him. However, Ariana assures him that she trusts him because of his heroism, and because he does not hate the elves. Later, Ark teleports them to the Little River, a walking distance to Dinto's hideout, and Ariana is surprised by how skilled he is at magic. Meanwhile, Ark starts to wonder if working for Ariana is the right choice as he is trying to keep a low profile. They arrive at the town and head to the alley where they wait for Danka, a comrade of Ariana. Ark is excited to meet Danka, as he believes she is a female warrior just like Ariana, but his happiness is short-lived after he discovers that Danka is a boy. I guess things aren't what they appear to be. They head to the tavern to discuss their rescue mission, but Ark refuses to eat because he is scared to reveal his skeleton face in public. Ark discovers that Danka and Ariana have the same last name, which makes him wonder if they are siblings. However, she explains to him that they are simply from the same city of Maple. Ariana finally introduces Ark to Danka as the mercenary, who would help them take down Dinto, but he has doubts about Ark's abilities. However, Ariana assures him that Ark is a capable warrior, and he believes her. After seeing Ponta by his side, maybe I should get a cat. Perhaps more people would believe me, and moments later, they go over the plan and decide to infiltrate Dinto's hideout in the middle of the night, in order to prevent a confrontation with his guards, realizing that they will be here for a while. Ark informs Ariana that he will be back in an hour and he leaves the tavern. Not long after, Danka reveals that he is surprised by Ariana's action to hire a foreigner, but she defends her actions, stating she would have been defeated in battle if Ark hadn't come to her rescue. Yeah, she is not saying all that happened. Danka proceeds to chastise her for losing the battle, and informs her that her sister even would have won without much difficulty at all. However, he assures her that with experience she would be able to match even skills. Meanwhile, Ark heads to a tavern and orders a meal. He goes to the alley to have his dinner, in order to avoid being seen by anyone. Later that night, Ark, Ariana, and Danka try to sneak into Dinto's hideout, but they do not realize that they are being followed by a strange lady. They arrive at the hideout and they discover that it is heavily guarded. Despite being so late in the night, Ariana states that they have to be stealthy till they release the children. Then they can kill all the enemies they encounter. They infiltrate the building, after Ark uses his short-distance teleport. Although Ariana has trouble fitting through the window, inside they discovered that someone already infiltrated the building and killed all the guards. Ark inspects the area, but he is suddenly attacked by the mysterious lady, but he quickly evades her attack. She stops attacking him after spotting Ponta on his shoulders, and proceeds to apologize. Ark wonders if she is here to rescue the children, but the mysterious ninja lady reveals that she is here to retrieve an item, but she is unable to find it. She informs him that the prisoners are being held underground and gives him a document containing all the contracts for purchasing elf slaves. Ark shares this information with Ariana and Danka, but decides not to tell them about the mystery serious lady, as it would complicate things. While they talk, they are discovered by the guards and forced to attack. Ariana quickly decimates them with her fire attack. They rescue the kids, destroying anyone in their path, and Ark teleports everyone to a safe location. He breaks the seal on their collars and the children thank him for his help. Danka tells Ark and Ariana to rescue the remaining children locked away in the palace, while he escorts the rescued elves home. Ark teleports into the palace with Ariana by his side as the mystery lady watches on with a friend. At his palace, Dinto chastises his son for losing the elf slaves that he was transporting, while he prepares to have his way with two elf girls. Meanwhile, Ark and Ariana try to infiltrate the palace, but they are soon spotted by the guards. They create a distraction and run away, but the guards chases them. They break into Dinto's, incapacitate him, and rescue the girls while Udalin tries to run away. However, Ark realizes this and stops him from escaping. He discovers a secret room, while Ariana, alongside the elf girls, punish Dinto for his actions. Not long after, guards arrive and Ark asks Ariana to deal with them, while he investigates the secret room. She defeats them easily with her flaming sword and tells the girls to meet Danka outside the palace. Meanwhile, Ark starts to steal the gold in the secret room, but Ariana catches him in the act. He explains that he is stealing the gold in order to prevent Dinto from resuming his operations, and she believes him, surprising him in the process. The building starts to collapse due to an explosion, and Ark deduces that the mystery lady must have been behind the attack. He teleports outside, alongside Ariana, and she thanks him for his assistance in rescuing the children. She pays him for his services, although it is nothing compared to the loot that Ark stole from the palace. Ariana asks him to follow her to the land of the elves because she needs his help in rescuing other elf children that are in captivity. Upon hearing this, Ark becomes excited as he finally gets to have the fun adventure he has been looking for, but he is worried the elves would not tolerate an outsider like him. Ariana assures him that he will be fine as long as he meets the elders of the village, but he has to take off his helmet in their presence. Ark becomes worried about taking his helmet off because of his hideous face and asks Ariana if she would attack him if she saw his face. Ariana promises not to attack him, and Ark decides to take off his helmet, revealing his skeleton face to Ariana. She questions him about his face, and Ark lies that his appearance is due to a curse and he doesn't remember what happened to him. Ariana believes his story. She states that he is not an undead because he has the power of light and the ability to use healing spells. Ariana promises that all elves will keep his secret, and she tells him that the elder will be able to fix his appearance, which is a result of a curse. Ark decides to work for her in exchange for the elder fixing his appearance. The following day, in the capital city of Olaf, the human king Karlan holds a meeting with his two sons, Sekt and Dakers, as well as his daughter, Uriana. Karlan is furious at the elves' attack on Dinto, but Prince Sekt informs him that Dinto was in violation of the treaty after he sold the elves into slavery. However, Dakers gets angry and tries to defend Dinto and states that they are merely rumors, which makes Sekt suspicious of his brother. The king agrees with Dakers and decides to investigate the incident by contacting the elves in order to prevent a war, but this makes Dakaris angry. Elsewhere, Ariana and Ark head to the village of the elves, Lelatoya, but they decide to rest for the night and Ark makes them a dinner. After their meal, Ark discovers that getting to Lelatoya is a 2-day journey and decides to go hunting. After finding out that Ariana is still hungry, he kills a giant bear, and he is surprised to see Ariana snuggling Ponta, as she always acts tough around him. Back in the city of Olaf, Ariana reveals that she knows Dakaris is somehow involved in the slave trade of the elves, and Sekt is trying to expose him. To ensure that the meeting of the elves ends well, Ariana reaches out to her sister, Sariana, who married the ruler of the Limbolt Duchy, the only domain currently trading with the elf lands. After 2 days of walking through the forest, Ariana and Ark finally arrive at Lelatoya, a village hidden in the forest. At Lelatoya, Ariana asks Ark to wait outside while she obtains permission from the elder in order to grant him entry into the village. Ark spends the whole day outside, but he manages to keep himself busy by having fun with Ponta. Later that day, Ariana reveals that he has been granted entry into the village and takes him to meet the elder, Dylan, and his wife, Glenys, who are also Ariana's parents. Dylan thanks him for his help in rescuing the elf slaves. However, he expresses concern regarding the attack on Dinto's palace. He chastises Ariana for taking such a reckless action, but Ark comes to her defense. Ark tells him about Dinto's involvement in the slave trade, and Dylan decides to inform the rest of the elders. Ariana decides to escort him to the meeting, and they all have their dinner. Although Ark is reluctant to remove his helmet, Dylan assures him that his secret is safe with them, and this makes Ark comfortable. The next day, Glenys gives Ark a tour of the village. Meanwhile, Dylan and Ariana arrive at Maple for the elders' meeting. The elders decide to spy on the kingdom of Rodden while they prepare for war against the humans. Back in the village, Glenys decides to spar with Ark in order to test his ability. She defeats him with ease, and Ark decides to learn the art of swordsmanship to improve his skills. On their way back home, Dylan informs Ariana that Even is getting married soon, and this surprises Ariana as she never thought her sister was capable of love. Not long after, Even joins them, and she tells Ariana about her fiancé, even though she seems uninterested. The sisters continue to bond, while Ark struggles to keep up with Glenys, despite all of his abilities. They head home after sparring, and Ark decides to take a bath. Shortly after, Ariana decides to have a bath as well, but she doesn't realize that Ark is in there. She takes off her clothes and sees Ark in full skeleton mode, causing her to panic, and she blasts him with explosions. After their awkward encounter, Dylan hires Ark to assist Ariana in her quest to free the elf slaves in exchange. He informs Ark of a magic pool that might cure his skeletal appearance. However, it is only found near the Lord Crown, a spirit tree that grows in the territories of Dragon Lords, the most dangerous dragons in the world. Ariana reveals that they hate humans, but with an elf by his side, he would be granted access to the land. Although Ark made up the curse, he decides to accept the job to avoid suspicions, and Ariana reveals that they will be leaving in the morning. Later that night, Ark begins to wonder if his appearance is really a curse and decides to use a curse-breaking spell on himself. He uses the spell on his hand, and he is surprised to see that he has a human hand now. Thank you guys for following me on this journey, but it doesn't end there. Will Ark regain all other organs and travel around? If this video gets enough support, there will be part 2. Also, if you are a man of culture, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, peace.